Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Drawing and Talking with me, your host, Freebiewits. Today we'll be looking at a character named Raine. Before we begin, please like and subscribe for more content like this. Anyways, Raine follows a long line of roleplay characters with slightly misspelled names. At least I think it's misspelled. If there's a real name spelt like this, please let me know in the comments. But anyways, Raine. This feels like a case of the pot calling the kettle black because I misspell character names quite a few times as well. Mostly out of stupidity than anything else, to be honest. That said, I usually run with it. An example of one of my characters being misspelt is Jacques Lamasque. It was originally a typo. Moving on to Raine herself, it says here that she's ambidextrous, she's got raven black long hair, which she does not have in the art that I see in her character profile. It's blue. That's not black, that is blue. The artists who made these pictures, no, that's not black, that is blue. Also, she's classified as a rogue in her official character sheet. I don't know if I agree with that. In her backstory, she's described as a warrior doing warrior training, and if you look at her armor, that's clearly frontline warrior gear. It's a bit light, of course, it doesn't cover every part of her body, and I do have a bit of an opinion about this armor. Now, keep in mind, I'm a LARPer, not an actual medieval reenactor, so take everything I say with a grain of salt when it comes to armor. When I look at this stuff, it looks easy to move around in. It protects all your main vital bits. I don't really have any complaints about it. I do have one issue with it, and it's that it doesn't have anything underneath the armor that pads it out. Now, it's pretty close hugging, and I have worn metal armor, which doesn't need any excessive padding or gambeson or chainmail underneath to really make it work. But metal armor by its very nature is hard. It kind of digs into your skin if you put it on wrong. By the looks of it, it's fine, what she has, I think. It might be a little hard to bend over and such, because it digs into her stomach, but some pieces of art of her show that it's segmented, suggesting that when she bends over, the metal kind of folds into itself, so it's not much of an issue at all. Honestly, the only roguish part about her that I can tell is the fact that she might fight dirty. That's the impression I get. I don't know if it's true, but I figure she's a dirty fighter. Does anything to survive and, well, not die. Which is, makes sense. Would she work as a D&D character? Absolutely. I would make her a fighter, though, not a rogue, because a rogue in most D&D games don't get that much armor proficiency unless you invest in it. They don't really dual wield that much. I mean, they can, but they don't really dual wield long weapons like this unless they invest in it. And this is just the D&D system specifically. The fighter, on the other hand, can get feats and stuff. Actually, I could be wrong about that. 5th edition D&D, I'm not as familiar with it as I am with the 3rd edition. So, once again, take my words with a grain of salt. From a LARPing perspective, oh yeah, no, kick ass. You have 2 swords, you have relatively light but protective armor. You're good to go. You are a perfect flanker. The amount of people who have this sort of kit, who dual wield, who I've fought in the battlefield, there's a lot of them, and they kick my ass more times than not. And the only reason why I lost out against them is because, number 1, I have a big shield to hold them off, and number 2, way more armor than they have, so I can survive. So even though they get 3 hits off on me, I have 4 times as many hit points as they do. Usually. Anyways, it was incredibly fun to draw Raine. I had to go back and forth trying to figure out the pose, but in the end I went for a leaping, 2 swords behind her, with hair and cape flowing in the background, from above sort of thing. Fantastic. 10 out of 10 would draw again. Not literally, metaphorically. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Drawing and Talking, and hope to see you again some other time. Bye-bye.